That's St. Kitts in the distance right there. Look at it sparkle. Do you see it gleaming? Like, do you see that? Okay, now that we've heard that. Hello, my little lovebirds. TonyaTko here, and this is my first walking vlog from Nevis. It's actually my first walking vlog in a minute. The last one I did was in the snow in New York City, you know, and I haven't really come out to jog. I've been a little bit afraid. Don't ask me why. You know, I don't know, because you know I'm from New York. It takes a minute to deprogram. But oh, look at the waves splashing. I'm sorry, but I can listen to that all the time. That's the pier right there. That's the Nevis Pier. And that is, hold on, do I see it? That's one of the ferries right there. I can't get it in focus. My lens is probably dirty. I mean, to try to clean this real quick. That is one of the ferries right there. And the ferry travels across the water and it takes people to St. Kitts. And you know what, the thing is, hold on, you know what, I gotta get my view of St. Kitts on, because I went, the very first time I came down here, I went on a date on the beach, right? Well, not the very first time, but the last time I came down here, I went on a date on the beach. And so, you know, I'm just a city girl. You know, I'm not equipped to deal with all of this type of scenery. And I was just blown away, because I was like, oh my goodness. You know what, let me see if I can put my night vision on, because it's still kind of dark out here. Let me see, where's night vision? Okay, can you see me? Oh, I look scary. Look at that. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Okay, maybe the green face is not too hot. Look, what color are my eyes? You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Okay. Oh goodness, I hear people behind me. Let me keep it moving. Do you like the green night shot, or should I just put it on regular? You know what? I'm concerned about my eyes. David Banner, traveling the coast. No, okay. Let me get back for real. Okay, hold on. Let me put it back on regular. Okay, there we go. All right. The first time I came down, well, not the first time, the last time I came down here, I went on a date on the beach. And, you know, the waves were, let me tell you something. I told you guys this in one of my other videos, but can't see me at all. But you see, the sun is getting ready to come up over there. Right now, it's like 5:45 in the morning. Right? So anyway, so you know, I'm just a city girl, and the sun shines down on the water during the day, and the water cools down slower than the sand and, well, than the ground and all that other stuff. So the water stays warm a little bit longer, right? And so we're walking on the beach. My feet are in this warm water now. I have never experienced warm water on my legs at night. And you know, I'm with this handsome gentleman and the palm trees and the breeze. And then we see St. Kitts. And St. Kitts looked like jewelry. And you know, I always think, oh, I was just being corny by saying that. But putting it inside the camera this morning, I see that it really does. It does look like jewelry, because they're sparkling, you know, and this looks like a long necklace or a tiara or something. I said, I gotta get that again. Every time I see St. Kitts, I think of that first date that I had. Oh, hold on. Look at it sparkle. Tell me that doesn't look like jewelry. You can't tell me that it doesn't. Well, somebody could, but let me keep it moving. All right, so anyway, right? Oh, look, I'm starting to brighten up. Oh, but there's a street light right there, so that could be the reason. But one thing that I find remarkable about Nevis is that one moment it's dark and then boom, the next moment the sun is right upon you. So like, you know, I was doing my whole Incredible Hulk thing a few moments ago, but you'll see in just a few minutes the sun will be blaring. So anyway, so I was on the beach that night, and it was too much for a city girl like me. You know, it's too easy to romance a person who's from the concrete jungle. Take them to the real jungle, bring out the animal. Woo, that was a fast car. Right now I'm along the side, I'm at the edge of town near, I guess this is kind of like a highway, right? So people out here, they wake up so early. You don't get much time to yourself out here, I'll tell you that much. Well, I can't really say that because you know what, I stay in town, so town is always live. And part of the reason I stay in town is because, you know, out in the, oh, the water's so beautiful. Out in the country is just a little bit quiet for me, you know, and then all the resources are here in town, but town is not always the optimal place to stay because it's not as quiet as the rest of the land. And one thing that I was gonna say was I was a little bit frightened. I hear a dog barking. That's why I was frightened, because the last time I came out for a walk when, see, I gotta be on the lookout because one time I was chased by crazy dogs here, right? And I'm messing with these animals like that, you know? So anyway, the last time I came out here, I walked through town and it was like some homeless people who were hanging out down there. It was like, because it was pitch black. I came out a little bit earlier because I was meeting these other people who were jogging, right? Or well, they did speed walking. They were really good too. They like went up hills and all that other stuff. So anyway, I gotta cross the street because we're at the end now, see? So the sidewalk, or see, the walk kind of ends right here. So so they were like some homeless people. You know, there's people with mental illnesses in every culture. So there's some people who were just hanging out, you know, overnight in town, and there was this like scraggly dog who felt it befitting to start growling and approaching me. And it was approaching fast too, and I was like, oh goodness, what am I gonna do? You know, we all animals. And I was like, it's gonna have to be some fight or flight up in this mofo this morning because I'm not getting bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting bit, not like that. So anyway, I wish there was a way I could continue along the beach, but it looks like, see, because like the beach kind of, like the road curves, and then there's like these little gazebos out here. I mean, it's really pretty, but when the sun comes up, I want to, look at this. Oh my goodness, look. It's like the mountain. Oh, I can't get it in focus because I don't have enough light. But, oh, come on, mountain. I wonder if I put it on night shot. Oh, wait. Look at that. It's the mountain in the background. I mean, there's a little house in front, whatever that is. But look. The mountain. So anyway, yeah, so that's the end of the story with that dog. So that kind of frightened me. Because I was like, you know, when it's dark, you don't really know who's out there and what's going on. So that, but you know what, the thing about it is I wasn't afraid before that dog incident. And I was speaking with an associate of mine down here who was talking about the amount of fear that people in cities live in. You know, like down here, crime is pretty non-existent. I was talking with a fellow who was like, well, aren't you afraid, you know, this and other, looking over your shoulder and everything? Well, let me just say this. There are about 10,000 people in Nevis, right? There are about 10,000 people in Nevis. The island is what, 35 square miles, something like that. 6 miles in diameter, and it's an island. It's an island, so there's no getting off this mug. You commit a crime, where you gonna go? You go run, but you can't hide. You know what I'm saying? So so you know, no, I'm not afraid, because you can't, you do something, you let's say you want to rob someplace, you rob it, you get the stuff, where you gonna go? How you gonna get there? People gonna see you driving fast. What are you gonna do? So it's like you can't really get away from what it is that, and you know, when I realized that, because I'm like, what are you gonna do, go jump on the ferry? You're gonna jump on the ferry to escape the St. Kitts. You know what I'm saying? So, speaking of St. Kitts, we're by look at that. But the crazy part about it is, crimes do happen here, though they do. Excuse me, it's like the change in temperature, because I guess it starts out really cool and now I can feel it starting to get warm. But like I was saying, crimes do occur here, right? And that's what's really perplexing to me, because it's like, all right, and you know, of course, the people get caught. So anyway, it's perplexing because I'm like, you live here in paradise. What are you upset about? Like, I came down here in 2007 for the first time. Well, not for the first time, but the first time to stay as an adult. And I was talking with people about gangs, like the sister island over there, like the island of St. Kitts and Nevis, right? Nevis is a separate island, St. Kitts is a separate island, but they're both in the same federation. Like, if you look at the flag, there's 2 stars on it. And one star is for St. Kitts, the other star is for Nevis. And it's like, they were talking about gangs, like the Bloods and the Crips have found their way down here. It's like, you know, and the thing about it is that people blame America. Oh, America this, America that. But I'm like, out of all of the things that America has to offer, oh, I'm in the middle of the road. Like, out of all of the things that America has to offer, why pull up the worst of the worst? You know what I mean? Like, why, like, people are like, oh, people, they incorporate American foods. Oh, people getting fat because of American foods. Oh, people are killing each other because of American culture, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is just ridiculous. I'm like, hold on, look at this. It's like, if you could see something like that every day, how could you not feel happy and at ease or relaxed or something? One thing that I can say, I was really surprised when I first came down here, because the people are really, really laid back. Like, you know, I'm from New York, so I'm used to being like, oh, I want this now, I gotta get this now. And that actually, that aggression did help me, like, when it was time to get work and stuff down here. The aggressiveness helped me because, you know, whereas I was staying on top of people, other people really weren't. Whereas I was delivering goods on time, other people weren't. So it did. So being, oh, look at this. So you have like a hotel right there, palm tree, coconut tree across the street. Even this building in its dilapidated, abandoned state, I mean, look at this, has trees growing on the inside. And it's still beautiful. You know, it's like, okay, how do you have this much beauty and then still be unhappy? So I think it's just the nature of human beings to want more, always be striving, or I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, so I'm like, why pick up the worst of the worst from American culture and blame it on America? America has a lot of wonderful things to offer, but look at this. Remember I told you guys there are pine trees down here? I would have to show you this during the day because the bristles are really fat, kind of like small little aloe vera. And then look at these large, gigantic plants. It's like I've never in my life seen a plant this big. I mean, look at it, it's building high. Have you ever seen that? Look. Oh, at the Copacabana. Ah! Okay, that's enough, okay. So anyway, I was just remarking on how, you know, where you sit back and you think, good morning, and you think, wow, you know, you have everything. You have beautiful surroundings, fresh air, fresh fruits, simple living. That's one thing I was gonna say, that, you know, I was down here and I was very, very aggressive, and I found it really remarkable that people were so laid back. It's like deadlines are flexible. People are flexible. And at first I found it really annoying. I was like really annoyed by it. But then it kind of dawned on me that, what's the rush? The wind is blowing. Can you hear me? I'm like, I gotta cover the microphone. I'm like, what is the real rush? It's like, what is life all about, really? I remember this joke that I read, and I can't quote it correctly, but pretty much the joke was about this CEO who came upon this Mexican man fishing on the pier, and the CEO asked him what is he doing with his life and all this other stuff, right? And he's like, he fishes all day. And he's like, well, don't you want more than that? Blah 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 blah. I can't really tell it correctly because I tried to tell somebody this a few weeks or months ago and I couldn't do it, right? So anyway, so the basic gist of the story is that, look at that, is that the CEO asks this little dude sitting on the pier, like, why is he doing that? And then the little dude asked the CEO, and he's like, well, I do that so that I could buy a big house. And he's like, and what? Get a big car, and what? Get all these luxuries, do this, that, and the other. And the Mexican guy was like, and what? And what? And he's like, so I could retire one day. And he's like, and what? And he's like, so that I could sit all day on a pier doing nothing. And he's like, well, that's the same thing that I'm doing, except I cut out all the steps in the middle. I mean, because it's all leading towards the same place, isn't it? So it's like, it made me really reevaluate what is life all about, really. Most people, and I travel. So I talk to a lot of different people who ask me questions about travel. How am I able to travel and all this other stuff? And I'm like, if you want to do it, you just do it, just like that. And people are like, oh, well, I don't know how, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you just do it, because it's like most people that I know and speak to are waiting until they get old to travel. Oh, when I retire, I'm 65, I'm gonna start traveling then. And let me just tell you, the experience is a lot different. It's a lot different. When you're in your 20s, out there on the road with a backpack, when you're in your 30s, out there on the road with your backpack, when you're in your 40s, it's different at different stages. When I was in my 20s traveling, there were a lot of, how do I put this? A lot of men who wanted to take me around. I was naive then. I didn't know why they were, well, am I still naive? Because I still got dudes taking me around. But anyway, listen, this is back to the story. When I was in my 20s, I had a lot of dudes carrying me around, wanting to show me different places, blah, blah, blah. And it was cool. There were a lot of parties to go to. Like, whenever I would travel someplace, there was always some hot party somewhere to go to. Look at this. The sun is coming up. Isn't that beautiful? Tell me if this is not paradisial, I don't know the right word. It's early too. Come to me after 7 o'clock in the morning for vocabulary, okay? Right now it's paradixical. Okay, no, I'm not gonna go too far. So anyway, when I was in my 20s, there were a lot of parties to go to here, there, and everywhere. And I always had my little pumps and my short skirt inside my backpack. And I was always hitting the town whenever I traveled someplace new. It was a must. It was a must. I bust any mic you hand to me. Oh, no. Okay, back to the story. So it was a must that I always had some party clothes, right? In my 30s, and I just got into my 30s. Traveling in my 30s is a little bit different. I see, because when in my 20s, it was all about what was the hot spot, the happening club, what was this, that, and I wanted to see all of the gorgeous tan-bodied men of different nations, right? But in my 30s, it was more about seeing the sights, tasting different foods, going to different museums and things of that nature, seeing sights and landmarks. You'll see my video, my Epic Year of Travel. I did a lot of going to touristy spots, because, they're tourist spots for a reason, because they're things that people who are tourists want to see, in different lands, parts of the history of that land. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that skyline. This is what I'm talking about. Whenever I see a tree in the skyline, I just like, oh. I love coconut trees. And I was talking to somebody down here that was like, coconut trees are kind of low class. I guess because they grow freely. So now the end thing is to get palms. People are never happy. Anyway, oh, look at this. I'm gonna get back to my story in a moment. It's just that there's so much beauty surrounding. So anyway, right? So you see in my Epic Year Travel video that, you know, I did a lot of visiting different places and seeing different sites. And in my 40s, I can only imagine that I will probably get more into the culture. You know, like when I was in my 20s, I did not want to do anything touristy. I'm like, no, I want to take up roots for at least a month and see what the people are like, see what the people live like. And I wanted to incorporate myself into the different cultures, you know? Oh. Like when I was in Japan, I didn't travel to any tourist spots, which is a huge, you know, I don't want to say waste, but just look at this. Wow. Amazing. And I bought some land not too far from here. That's what I started doing the last time I was here. Started securing some land. So I can only imagine in my 40s, you know, I mean, because listen, I was reading that we lose a heartbeat every year after a certain age. You know, like when we're young, you know, our hearts beat very quickly per minute. Boom, 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 boom. Right? And then it slows down further and further. So traveling in your 20s is going to be different than traveling in your 30s. And as you get more settled and more calm, you know, it's going to become even more different. So I'm like, the experience you'll have now in whatever age it is, if you're a teenager, believe me, traveling when you're a teenager is going to be much different than traveling in your 20s. The experience, oh gosh, there's a tractor on the road. You can't see it, it's out of focus. But let me come to the other side of the road. So if I would say anything to anybody out there, morning. What is that? That's a backhoe. I believe that's a backhoe. Yeah. I'm so tired. Oh, look at this. Wow. Look. It's like, do you see that? It's the moon. It's still up and the sun is coming over the hill right there. So if I could encourage anybody out there to please go out and do it now, please don't save it to when you're 60. Your energy is going to be much different in your 60s. I'm not saying don't travel in your 60s, but the experience is different. The interaction is different. What you do may be different. When I was in my 20s, I stayed at nothing but hostels. That's it. Straight hostels. I'm so tired. I'm going uphill right now. Do you see the downhill behind me? Goodness gracious. I stayed at nothing but hostels. So I stayed with other people who were traveling, young folks, and then we would hit the town together and all this other stuff. And I remember there were always older people who would be inside the hostels too, but you know, the interaction was different. Number one, and we weren't going party hopping with no 60-year-old woman. You know what I mean? We might have partied with the 60-year-old men who were buying drinks. Oh, forgive me. Pretend you never heard that. Pretend you never heard that. But no, gosh, you know, and then I guess people could say, oh, well, as a 60-year-old man, that'd be pretty cool. But then at that point, you're spending your money just to entertain young little teeny boppers and 20-something-year-old girls, hoping that maybe one of them feel sorry for you and give you some pity pum pum, you know? Yeah, so the experience is going to be much, much different. So if you can, no, not if you can, because let me give you guys a little treat of knowledge and information right now. Go to Bing.com, B-I-N-G. It's a new web browser that Microsoft came up with. They're supposed to be competing with Google. I like them. Some people never even heard of them. I'm telling you about it right now because Bing has one of the best travel search engines that I've ever seen. And I'm a traveler, I go hard. They have one of the best. Go and search for Bing Travel. They have travel stock tickers, which will let you know when the price is predicted to go up and when the price is predicted to go down. And what you can do is you can add yourself to a list to get alerts for when your price of your itinerary goes up, or when it changes, or when it's in your range, right? And they will send you an email. This is how I got my ticket to Nevis. I got on that list, and then every week they were like, the price is $600. It's gonna go down soon, or we predict it's gonna go down, or we predict it's gonna go up, right? So I waited and waited, and the price started going down because like at a certain time it was more expensive. Then it started going down, and you know, ooh, this tree scared me. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I'm not paying attention. But that branch, it seemed like it was coming out into the street. Isn't that a pretty tree? Oh wow, look, you see the ocean in the distance. So anyway, I wonder where that road leads. Right there, I don't know. I'm gonna take the next road up. So anyway, so then I got a message saying that the ticket that I wanted was down to like, I don't know, in the 500s or something. But you guys would be very surprised because a lot of people, my whole point is, and then I jumped on the ticket right away. My whole point is that a lot of people say they can't afford to travel, and everybody and anybody can afford to. You just have to, instead of saying, if you, okay, think about the open-endedness of it, or the closed-endedness of it. If you say, I can't afford to travel, boom, that's it, door closed. If you say, how can I afford to travel? Then your mind starts thinking, how? What would I be able to do in order to be able to travel? What controls do I need to have in place? What keys do I need to have set up? Who do I get to watch my children for a certain amount of time? How do I get away from my studies? Look at this. This is so pretty. Oh. And the plants and stuff. Okay, I'm only going up a little bit further. Look at that, I came very far. My heart is beating 152 beats per minute and I'm holding up this camera. So, anyway, when you say, how can I afford to travel? Then it opens up your mind to be able to start thinking of ways that you can make it happen. So I want you to sit down right now and say, how can I afford to travel? Because one thing that I want everybody to do is I want everybody to partake. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I can't wait till I could. Wait, okay, I think I could turn here as I'm tired. Look, there's a road to the left and a road to the right. I'm gonna take the road to the right. The last time I came here, this road was just freshly laid black tar and it smelled so strong, but now it looks like the road has been used. I hope this is the right road to turn down. I don't even know. And right now I don't even care. One thing, let me show you something. One thing that I love about Nevis is that, oh wow, look at the sea. It's beautiful. One thing that I love about Nevis is that there's so much raw, undeveloped land here. Like, look, this is raw, undeveloped land. I'm not saying it's unbought, but it's undeveloped. Like, so there's like a lot of building which can be done here. And the nice thing about it here is that, you know, when you're in the States or you're wherever, you make a house, you buy a house which is already made. Here, you get the opportunity to help come up with the plans. I mean, you know, you probably have to get a basic architectural layout. You probably have to buy the basic plans. That's what my dad did. And then, you know, you can speak with an engineer who can help you alter it in certain ways which suits you, a bigger kitchen there. Because you know what, houses have to be built on foundations, and the soil has to be right for a certain amount of weight and all this other stuff, right? But look, I'm just gonna go up this street. Look, do you see this? All untapped nature. Hold on, shush, listen. Do you hear that? And it's like just bush. Lots of bush. And just naturally growing flowers and stuff. Do you hear that? Just nature. I would go up that street. That street is going uphill. Looks like that one's going uphill too. Let me go up here. Let me see. This road wasn't here when I was here before. And then that's the thing. Have you ever played Civilization where you make your own roads and all this other stuff? And you create your own sewer system, blah, blah, blah. Look at this flower. I guess it's dead now, but it's very interesting. Like, that's what I want. When I go to different parts of the world, that's another thing I love seeing. The different plant configurations. I've seen some very weird plants in the Middle East. Doesn't this kind of look like cannabis a little bit? Except cannabis leaves are thinner, doesn't it though? Look, why are there so many leaves on there? Well, I mean, it is growing naturally. We actually don't know what that, no, I'm just joking. From what I've seen on the t-shirts, the cannabis plant looks very different. But anyway, so here we go up this street. And as you see, like all of this, as far back as you can imagine. I mean, and this is one of the things that are really nice about Nevis, is that, oh gosh, how long? Oh, I've been filming for 31 minutes. Oh goodness, I gotta get out of here. Well, I don't know why I started walking up this hill, then I don't know where I'm going. Oh, okay. Look, there's a boat in the marina. Do you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Oh, but I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna start jogging. But you know what? I never know what I'm gonna talk about when I start doing a walking vlog. But this video, I hope that I can encourage people to really, what I was gonna say about Bing Travel and about that is that you can afford it if you know, I was surprised at the amount of people that I saw buying $100 shoes. If you hold back on 5 $100 pairs of shoes, you can afford a plane ticket to Paris. You know, if you stay in a guest house instead of hotel, you can stay longer. You know what I mean? It really depends on how you want to budget. Oh, wow. You know what? Look at this. I hate to show the bad stuff, but this road, I'm sure this is new because this wasn't here when I was here the last time, but it's already broken up. You see that? I guess they need some sort of, I don't know what they do in the States to keep the stuff together. I'm tired. But you know what? If you just cut back in certain areas, like I see people who are spending $150 out on a night drinking. You know, you do that 4 times, you can afford your ticket to some foreign country. You know, and if you are American or from a first world nation, I hate the term first world, but if you are, then you don't need travel. You don't have to apply for a travel visa. Your passport is enough. Or passport is like $100 or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But I had my expedited the last time because I wanted to get it sooner. Oh, look at this. This consortium of whatever that is. It's pretty though. But I bet if I touch it, it'll stick me. Let me see. Oh. Ooh. Okay. This is why you shouldn't go to foreign lands just putting your fingers into anything. Did you see that bee? I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna stand up and be like, oh, what a pretty bee with my finger out. No, I just moved my buns. Get out of there. But no, I see people, when I go to Miami, I see people spending $200 at the club. In New York, you know, I see people with Gucci, real Gucci, and their shoes on, and people who can save up for all sorts of things. You know, all I'm saying is cut back in certain areas. Let me get off of this video because this is going to be very long to upload. But listen, and I'm at the top of the road too, right here. Ooh, look at this. Look at my view behind me. Do you see this? This is St. Kitts in the distance. It's like the island is revealed. Oh, tell me, if you lived in a place like this, would you be worried about anything? Let me see if I can get up further to the top of this hill. Wow, it's just so beautiful. I can't get over it. I wouldn't be worried about anything. And it's like, I don't know why some people pick up on the worst of the worst, you know, from America and be like, oh, let's incorporate this. Gangs, they have no place here. Well, not on this island, but the Why is it all zoomed up in my eye? I can see you. No, gangs have no place here. Look, inside of the bush, look how many houses you see. There's a house right there. It's out of focus. My lens is acting crazy. But all of this stuff, there could be a house right there. There could be a house right there. There's somebody building one right there, but right there could be a house. There could be a house there. There could be a house there. There could be so much. And so many different businesses which could be started. Look, the water again. Do you see this? Do you see the water in the distance? It's just, you know what? I'm going downhill now. Whew, thank goodness. I'm gonna do another walking vlog another day, and I'm gonna tell you about some of the differences between being in a small country like Nevis and coming from a big place like New York. For example, my high school had 5,000 students in it. So we're talking about being on an island, which is 35 square miles, that has twice as many people as my high school. You know, so it really changes your perception, and it changed me on the inside. And I'll let you guys know how, because I made the decision that it was better to be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in a big pond. And that in and of itself, I mean, think about it. You know, how many of you, we'll talk about this another day, but how many of you feel, I don't want to say insignificant, but unnoticed or whatever? The people in the bank, they know me by name, you know? I don't have to show ID. There's no protective glass there to protect from shootings and all that other stuff. It's just so, I wish I could do more filming here. So people here don't like to be filmed. You know, it's a very different culture here. Look at this boat in the marina. People come here from, do you see that? No, I got to get this in focus. I have on a telescopic lens right now, or a telephoto lens, and it has a UV thing on it. So let me see if I can get in focus without that, because I want you guys to see this boat. Hold on. Come on, camera. Do you see that? Picturesque. It doesn't even look real. It doesn't even look real. This is, and look at the colors on the horizon. It's even more beautiful than that. And oh, look at these pink flowers. I would go closer, but this video is, oh, I can't help it. I can't help it. Oh man, there's some on the ground. It's just so beautiful. Get in focus, focus. I'm focused, man. There we go. Ah. But nonetheless, I want to encourage each of you, let me put my lens back on. I want to encourage each of you to get out there, put aside, oh my goodness. I'm sorry. You know something, I see something beautiful like this, and I don't see how anybody could ever have a problem, ever again. Look at this. Look, I gotta take off this lens, I'm sorry. Look at this. One house right there. The ocean stretched out before you. The horizon and land configurations right there in the distance. And it's like, look, how can you see this and ever have a problem? I don't know. I feel so filled. You know, the guy that you met in the last video, Clayton, he was saying that there's something spiritual about Nevis, that there's a healing energy. You know, it's very different. We are on the equator right now. Oh, look. We are on the equator right now. So our relationship to the globe we are on is different. You know, we are on an island created by a live volcano. So the energy is different. You see that there are hot springs. I did some research on hot springs, and the springs receive their heat from the molten core. Like as the water travels, the further down into, I'm going to show you guys this while I'm talking. The further down into the earth that you go, there are molten rock. And those rocks heat up the water. In some places it heats it up so, in some places of the world it heats it up so much that the water goes spurting out in a geyser. But you know, it's like this world that we are on. Oh my God. Please, look at this and tell me. Look, especially the people who are from the cities. Look at this. It's like, what do you see? Just beautiful open land, you know. And it's like, on the one hand I say, oh, there could be a house here, there could be a house there, there could be a house there. You guys can't see, the camera does not show you the scope of the land, that how far it reaches. But it's like, I'm like, oh, there could be a house here, there could be a house there. But the thing about it is that if there were a whole bunch of houses everywhere, it would be different. You know, I guess 200, 300 years from now. But, you know, Nevis is very quiet, is kept. So it's the secret. It's a very big secret of the Caribbean. You know, my first few years, I didn't even want to film here because I was like, this is the secret. Like, you know, so many people are like, oh, I want to come to Nevis now, right? But Nevis is so raw and so untapped, and the energy here is just so profound. Is, you know, I was saying that, you know, we are on an island created by a live volcano. So the energy is different. You know, our longitudinal and latitudinal place on this earth is different. Our relationship to the ground in which we walk is different. There's a vibration and a healing energy here. After I, you know, it took me a long time to get back into myself after my surgery. But when I came to Nevis, this is where I can't even find the right words, I'm sorry, but this is where I came back into myself, where I fully healed when I got onto Nevis's soil. Yes. It was like I couldn't get quite back right. It took me more than a year in the States, and I couldn't get quite back healthy. And then I came here, and within a few months, the rest of what I needed had healed me. Oh, my goodness. So, you know, it's like, I don't want people to come and build. I want Nevis to stay just the way it is. But, you know, there's just so much here that I want more people to partake of it. It's like, you know what, if this camera wasn't rolling, I'd probably burst into tears right now, because what I see is so beautiful. Just look at this. And the thing about it is that I'm going to build a house here. And, you know, I don't know what type of house I'm going to build, but the house is going to be all me. It's going to be my idea, my design, what I need in a house. You know, some people are like, oh, I live in a house and the kitchen is not big enough, or the bathroom is not where I want it to be. Look at that. The clouds are pink. Do you see this? The clouds are pink. Wow, I wish I was taller. I'm too short. But that's St. Kitts over there. And it's amazing. You know what? I didn't mean for this video to be 44 minutes. Let me get out of here. Gosh, I hope this video is not too long to upload. But look, I love you guys very much. Travel, please. Let me give you guys a hug. I gotta get out of here. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Please put aside some money. You don't have to come to Nevis. Please don't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But go someplace. Travel somewhere. Get off your soil. See what it's like to breathe different air. To taste different foods, especially foods that are indigenous. You know, see what it's like. All right. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Come over to my Facebook fan page. You can find it, the TonyaTko Show. There was a disease in the coconuts here. You see, all of those would have been coconuts in the palm tree. But, like, you know, it's like, this is what happens. People come here, like the people from the Four Seasons. They brought some trees here. This is what I heard. And the trees had, like, some sort of parasite on it. And then the parasite afflicted the other trees. And the people of the Four Seasons, you know, maintained their trees with whatever it is they maintain their trees with. But then the trees on the rest of the island, you know, suffered because of this. Wow, look. Do you see this? I gotta get beyond this bush. Let me run because I want to stop this video. But you know, it's like it's so hard to stop when it's just so much more to see. Look at this. It's picturesque. You could paint this. Anyway, golly, 45 minutes. Listen, I love you guys. I gotta get out of here. Doggone it, I know this video is too long to upload, but listen, I love you guys. Get out and travel. TonyaTko, come to my Facebook. Come to my website, TonyaTko.com. What else? Twitter.com/TonyaTko. Rate, comment, and subscribe this video. Rate, comment, and reply to this video. Subscribe to my videos. I'll talk to you later. TonyaTko. Peace.